Hello and greetings everyone. Today it is a new video about Star Wars, what else? And in this video I wanna kinda take on a topic that I've sort of spoken about, like we did the Jedi versus Sith, who's more powerful. This time I wanna go light side or dark side, which is more powerful. Now, in this scenario, we have a few questions to answer. First of all, what do we mean by power? Because obviously, as I said, Sith and Jedi have different opinions on what power even is. Now, we will go with what most people think of power as in your ability to influence your surroundings, basically, and impose your will on your surroundings. Now, by this very metric, the dark side already has an inherent advantage because the dark side is all about influencing others and putting your will onto your surroundings instead of becoming one with your surroundings. But in terms of what actually grants you more power, makes you more powerful, this is a not so easy question to ask and has a lot of detail to it. Though the actual outcome, the conclusion, is pretty simple to answer. Yoda answered himself. Yoda said that the light and the dark side are equal in power, but that the dark side is a quicker way to gain power. Now, on a cosmic scale, light and dark side are mostly balanced. Like there is times where the light side is stronger, there's times where the dark side is stronger, and the balanced side, the gray side, tries to balance them out. Now, on a cosmic scale, this which one is more powerful can shift depending on certain circumstances, like we have with the living force and the cosmic force and how much energy flows from one to the other and stuff like that. But cosmic power scale is not exactly what I'm going with, because on the cosmic scale they should be about the same in power, because they were basically just two extremes of more or less the same idea. So they are the same on a cosmic scale. Now, on an individual scale, what gives you more power, what actually manifests more power, I think it's pretty easy to get to the conclusion. Yoda himself said that the dark side is a quicker way to power. Now, if you are at an arms race, like technology or anything, whoever has the technology available quicker is actually the one more powerful at any given moment. If the light side takes you 30 years to develop a certain power, and the dark side only takes you 10 years to develop a certain power, then by the time the Jedi has mastered one power, the Sith has mastered 3 powers. So obviously the Sith will be more powerful because he can gain more abilities in a shorter frame of time. That's simply how it is. And we can prove this rather easily, because in canon examples we have immediate power boost to people joining the dark side. A good example from the video games is Cal Kestis. He is a trained Jedi and uses the light side until the second game, where he has some issues. I don't want to spoil the game, but where he encounters the Empire and is basically overwhelmed by forces that he can't take on. So he goes with his emotions and goes dark side, and the instant he changes over to the dark side, like in the very second that he does that, his power level increases instantly. He's not gaining new abilities that he didn't have before. He's not learning some secret techniques out of nowhere. He doesn't have magical powers or something. He's not becoming physically strong or anything, but the powers in the Force that he already had went up to the next level in an instant. Like, he can freeze time, and in usual gameplay he can freeze time on an opponent or two, or something like that. Now, the second he goes dark side, he can freeze time around him in a huge scale, even stopping blaster bolts and everything, and his power level goes up by, like, it basically doubles just within a second. He's not trained in the dark side. He's never used the dark side before. He doesn't know any dark side powers. The powers that Cal already had got an upgrade the very second he joined the dark side, instantly. And he somehow managed to lose those powers when he went back to the light side. And Cal isn't the only person this happens to. You have similar occurrences with all kinds of characters. Like if you go with, say, Exar Kun, he was a powerful Jedi, but the moment he went dark side, he was super powerful. Darth Nihilus never was a Jedi, but the moment he became stronger in the dark side, his power levels went from powerful Sith Lord all the way to basically godhood. You have characters like Kyle Katarn, who briefly went to the dark side, and the second Kyle went to the dark side, instant power up, like instant. The very second he gave in and joined forces with the dark side, instantly got stronger. Now, if that is true and your powers just increase by joining up with the dark side and use the dark side as fuel, how much more powerful can you become when you fully commit yourself to that? I mean, if you look at the lore, again, if you look at the most powerful Force users in existence, and by that I mean actually feats achieved with the Force, all of them are Sith Lords. Like, there's not a single Jedi amongst the, I'd say, top 20. Not one, because the Sith are just that much more powerful, historically speaking. And it's not just the Sith either. If you look at the most powerful empire to ever exist in the galaxy, that was the Rakatan Empire. The Rakatan Empire was technologically the most advanced empire to basically ever exist, and it fueled all of its technology with the dark side. The Rakata were basically the dark side species incarnate, if you want. Their culture was more dark side than the Sith culture, and I mean the ancient species. They were basically the manifestation of the dark side on a cultural species level, and no one ever got that powerful or that technologically advanced. They absolutely dominated the galaxy. So there were also light side species during the Rakatan time. The Rakatan wiped them out, like they just erased them from existence. They actually hit them so hard that one of the species devolved back into animals. They lost their sentience and just devolved into a very primitive animal form of their species. So the Rakata hit them so hard that they evolved backwards. That's how hard the dark force, the dark side, can hit you. So this question is also kinda increased with other arguments. As example, if you have light side planets like Ilum that are super strong and bathed and baked in the light side, is there anything specially harmonizing around them? Not really. They give birth to a lot of Kyber crystals. Do those have any super special properties? Not really. They're just basically the standard crystals for Jedi in the New Republic era and later. So nothing too special. Meanwhile, if you have planets that are baked in the dark side and go full dark side, you have all kinds of crazy stuff happen. If you look at Korriban created some of the most dangerous animals in the entire galaxy. Not to mention the Sith species, the race. Korriban is so baked in the dark side that Sith who go there get an instant power boost. There is like a lot happening here. If you go for dark side planets that are frozen, like what's the name? It's not Hoth, it's another one. There you also have special Kyber crystals forming, namely the permafrost crystal. Now, does the permafrost crystal have any special unique powers? Absolutely. It basically does the exact same that most kyber crystals do, but it creates plasma so cold that it deep freezes and shatters anything on hit. It's super effective against armor, it's super effective against metal, it's the same effectivity against flesh, and it causes more horrendous wounds because the frost creeps and damages much more than the area that was hit. Permafrost crystal sucks out the heat and life energy of whatever it strikes, making it more deadly than a standard lightsaber. And other dark side worlds also gave birth to special kyber crystals, like I think it's the ghost crystal. The dark side crystals actually do have more power than the light side ones, and apparently that's just how things go in the Star Wars galaxy. On that note, we can also look at, let me see, if you look at how the Force weakens when Jedi die, the light side, the living Force, actually grows weaker with every Jedi dead. So the living Force is the strongest when there's many Jedi around, and the weakest when there's only few Jedi around, which kinda explains why the Clone Wars era Jedi were stronger than the later ones. Meanwhile, the dark side grows stronger with everyone who's killed. I had my reasoning why in a different video about the cosmic and the living force, but the general idea is that as time progresses, it seems that the dark side should gain more power. Apparently the Sith don't, because for the Sith it's the exact opposite, it's the other way around. And for species and stuff like that, it's a constant decline in the galaxy far, far away. But it is, at least in the lore, that the Sith actually becomes stronger with each death. Now, in a few individual cases, that's absolutely true, like Nihilus and Vitiate actually can absorb the power of those they killed, and they actually do become strong with everything they kill. Which, by the way, also means that there is a higher power ceiling, because it's much easier to kill a lot of people than to procreate and have a lot of people born. So, apparently that is also a thing. And for power ceiling, we clearly see that the dark side offers powers that are just way beyond any other scale that the light side has. Now, how does the gray side balance into that? Actually, gray force users seem to be very versatile with their powers, but they seem to be weaker overall. It's like they are not really mastering anything, they are more of a jack of all trades, master of none. So they're pretty good all around, and for every situation have an answer, but they're not nearly as powerful with their dark side abilities as actual Darksiders, and not as powerful with their light side abilities as actual Jedi. So they're kind of an in-between, and all those people that say, well, there seems to be no trade-off if you become a grey Jedi, there is a trade-off, because you just won't be as powerful a Jedi and you won't be as powerful a Sith, but you will be able to have more powers in your arsenal, which can be a great boost. And you don't have to adhere to strict codes, like not much at least. So yeah, with that said, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Not every video has to be half an hour long, so have fun guys, have a fantastic day, and may the force be with you.